It is easy to aspire to give quality leadership in the face of stiff political opposition, but delivering the goods could in reality pose severe challenges. This explains what has almost become a trend in Nigeria, where politicians make promises and literally paint an utopic picture of leadership when aspiring to occupy positions of responsibility, but turn out at the end to realize it is easier said than done. This conflict of passion and reality is often exacerbated by the demands of services versus party loyalty, which in sometimes could derail one from the original principles and targets of one's political aspirations. Imagine serving as a member of the House of Representatives from a state where you are the only member from a political party. The task of effective representation would most often than not compete with the demands of building alliances across party lines, a task that requires plenty of sacrifices. On the program tonight, we shall be interrogating how a member of the National Assembly can manage the demands of effective representation alongside those of political party loyalty. My guest was the only member of the All Progressives Congress from his state in the 9th National Assembly, but managed to sponsor bills with identifiable bearing on the members of his constituency. He currently has the mandate of his constituents to represent them in the 10th National Assembly. You will meet him shortly. My name is Onengiye Fineface, and this is The Mandate. On this episode of The Mandate, we head to the salt of the nation, Ebonyi, focusing on the federal constituency of the largest local government area of the state, Ikwo. The constituency is Ikwo-Ezza South, and my guest is Honorable Chinedu Ogah. Welcome to The Mandate, Honorable Chinedu Ogah, OON, member representing the good people of Ikwo-Ezza South Federal Constituency of Ebonyi State.
Thank you, the viewers and the presenter.
I would like us to start off on how you managed to balance the minority status in your state and majority status at the national level as the only rep member from the ruling APC from Ebonyi State in the 9th National Assembly, so much so that you got re-elected to represent your people.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I have to thank God and thank the presenter and the viewer. It's the act of God that made it possible for me to be elected as a member representing the Ikwo-Ezza Federal Constituency in 2019. It was a turbulence, but because the people there in the grassroots stand and stood by me, that made it possible. It was a fashion between my own group and the former Minister of Science and Technology and the former governors. But the great masses of the constituents and the Ebonyi State stood by me because they know my track record. Okay. When I was youth leader, when I was the secretary of the party, the state secretary, they have seen practical things I have done. And God made it possible. And our own group emerged as authentic leaders of APC. Okay. That is how I was elected as a candidate of APC in 2019. Irrespective of that, there is so many petitions against my candidature, but the masses stood by me, and my name, after the primaries, my name was submitted to INEC. Okay. To the extent the day of primary election of senatorial, a lot of crises erupted, but thank God, today is a testimony.
Okay, and are we able to manage that standalone status?
Yes, the extent of it is that it's not about standing alone, because I'm representing the people.
Okay.
I was called by the people. In my constituency, I have 31 wards, 497 polling units. And in all this, I have a representative of each of those constituencies: women, youth, elderly men, and middle class. And they're the people that identify with me and stood by me. And by that, when I was elected, I first of all meet with them to discuss with them. And it were the people that put up what they want from me as a National Assembly member, I should do to the constituency.
Okay, so you are not doing what you want, but
No,
what they
it's
want.
what they want because I'm
Okay.
representing them. It's not by
Right.
my own mandate.
Yeah, that's
I'm
okay.
only a key person to that mandate. The mandate belongs to them, and they have a right to withdraw it. I'm representing them. That is why I have to listen to them for what they want. And
Okay.
it is what they want is what I'm doing.
Right. Now, you sponsored quite a number of bills in the 9th Assembly, including the Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital Abakaliki Establishment Bill 2021, which was passed alongside the Federal Medical Center Amago Ikwo Ebonyi State Establishment Bill 2021. Other bills such as National Agency for Food Technology Development Agency Establishment Bill, Federal University of Ndufo Alike Ikwo, hope I got that name right, and the Federal Polytechnics Act Amendment Bill 2020, among others, at different levels of legislation. Something striking about these bills is that they are basically about health and education. So let's talk health now. What is it about the health sector in Ikweza South that propelled you to go on to sponsor those bills that border on health?
Yes. When you look around, you find out from General Hospital to Federal Medical Center, from Federal Medical Center, the Alex Ekweme Federal University was emerged and took over by the federal government when Professor Nyebuchichukwu was a minister. And when I came in there as a National Assembly member, as a lawmaker, I found out there is no a law establishing those institutions.
Okay.
And it's my core mandate that representing the people to sponsor such bill. And there are so many, and that is why I take up such bill to establish. If such bill is being assented by Mr. President, it will give more credit and more empowerment to my people to access the healthcare services. If now we are looking at international donor and they go to the gazette where all the teaching hospitals are being gazetted as it passed, and unless Ekweme Federal University is not in that gazette, such people will have a withdrawn mind to sponsor certain things that will benefit my constituents. And that is why I say it is very necessary. So it's something that I know that will have the change of good to my people and they will give them a quality health. Today, unless Ekweme have School of Nursing, unless Ekweme have so many things they are running that have benefited the people of my constituents. And these my people cannot go to Ibadan today to be trained. And for establishment of Alex Ekweme Federal University, categorically today, Ebonyi people can now boast of 120 consultants in different fields.
Wow.
All like as it is where before. It was only two, Dr. Chinedu Ogah and one other doctors that studied in Ibadan was only consultant in the whole Abakaliki diocese, Abakaliki zone.
Okay.
The same apply in the south where we have only two, Dr. Oji and few others. So creating of this hospital have given our people enabling environment to excel in health sector.
Now, the other one is education. How has your interest in this sector translated to qualitative education for your constituents?
The great weapon you can give to every young man on this earth is give that person education. Either practical education, physical education, or theoretical education for such person to be experienced. It does not need a person to go to school for him to be educated. If somebody was able to learn work and is being tutored and primed, such person is already educated in that field. And when I look aspect of it, I found out the greater number of our people are all there doing all job. And the only thing that can help us to have education near to our constituents, when such education is being established in our constituents, it will give them hope.
Okay.
Because they cannot afford to travel to some other place to be educated. And that is why I sponsored the bills on education aspect, because it will help us. And when you come to the Federal Medical Center, the only Federal Medical Center we had have already been changed to Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital. It's only upon state that you don't have any Federal Medical Center. And I have looked at, we have 3 senatorial zones. In South, we have Akanibiam Federal Polytechnics, where they have their clinic. We have Federal University of Basic Medical Science, Dave Umahi Federal Medical in Uburu. We have another school in Ishago. You come to the north, where you have Federal Teaching Hospital, where you have a state teaching hospital. In the central, there is no any Federal Teaching Hospital. That is why I see the mandate, and there is almost about 4 to 5 hours from there to Abakaliki.
Wow.
So if a patient, if you have an emergency, for such emergency to be taken from that rural area to Abakaliki, such person will lose his life.
Before I hear is the largest local government area in Ebonyi, and it's part of your constituency, situated on the eastern part of the state. The people there are mostly farmers, known for the cultivation of rice, yam, cassava. As a matter of fact, I read that Ikwo is regarded as the largest producer of Abakaliki rice, the popular Abakaliki rice we know coming from Ebonyi State. How would your membership of the 10th National Assembly bring Abakaliki rice, for instance, to the dining tables of Nigerians across the country, provide jobs, and improve agricultural production in that constituency?
You ask me how would. I have already done a lot in that aspect.
Okay.
Immediately I was elected, I was able to help to give out grants and input, fertilizer and so many things to the farmers.
In the 9th Assembly?
Yes.
Okay.
In each of the year, every 2nd July, I would distribute almost about 30,000 bags of fertilizer to all the farmers free.
Wow.
And this have helped them to have more yield in their rural farmers. And other things we're able to do, we interconnect them by building some convert and bridges to their rural farms to give them access to evacuate their farm produce to the township. And this have helped increasing their yield. Then the bushel of rice was 2,000, but today you can get a bushel of rice of 15,000. A rural farmer in the village today can sell his rice or his farm input and pay the school fees of his child. That is the aspect that you can see that there is a chain of balance between the education and the agricultural sector in Ebonyi State. And seeing my constituency as the major hub of farming in Nigeria, there is something that the state government have done where they called Ebonyi World Rice, where all the rice are being produced, is in international market. And the former governor, Chief Martin Elechi, established 3 regional rice mills in each of the senatorial zone. The one in Ikwo is in Iboji. The one in a senatorial zone, South Senatorial Zone, is in Eda. The one in the north is in Izi. And this have helped our people to have more creativity on polishing and innovation in more modern in rice production. Okay. They have given Abakaliki rice a new model. One, I want to tell you why Abakaliki rice is very good to the health. It helps any patient that have a diabetic because the rice is very, very yield to health. Unlike the fibers that are being imported from China and Vietnam. I've traveled wide now, and I find out our land is more yielding than that.
Talking about the local production of rice, there is a part of the question I asked, how to get this to the dining tables of Nigerians across the country. Do you think that opportunity is still there for you in the 10th National Assembly to increase maybe the production and also the possibility of exports?
Yes, we are doing that because now I have registered 326 cooperative farmers in each of the communities. Okay. The extent of that, those cooperative farmers, I'm partnering with USAID, I'm partnering with other UNIDO and other people that know the techniques in new technology in farming. Okay. To teach all these my rural people so that they will know what to do. And our rice have come into the world markets. Oh, when you get to all the supermarkets in Nigeria today, and most people, what they will ask you, Abakaliki rice.
I hope you eat Abakaliki rice as well.
That is, I don't eat any imported rice.
Except
I'm a farmer.
Okay,
as I speak to you, last year I cultivated 85 hectares of rice farm.
Oh, that's good.
It is by next month I'll start milling my rice.
Oh, great. I heard also that your constituency is endowed with abundant natural resources that are largely untapped, including, for instance, limestones at Agubia, if I got it right, lead, zinc, and salt in Ameri and Ohankwo, and laterite deposits in various parts of the community. Do you have plans for the sustainable, environmentally safe exploration of these resources? Yes. Okay, go.
Where we have all those solid minerals, we have in Enyiba, we have in Ohankwo, we have in America, in Ezza South, we have in so many places, and there is some other untapped solid mineral.
Yes.
That is my constituency. The aspect of it is that we are going to partner with the state government to make sure that the state government come in to bring out a factory that can polish and engage our people. There is already private one that established there. But that private one have no more effect to our people because there is so many dangerous things that are happening to that environment. That is royal salt. But if the government come in to harness that potential and engage our youth so that most of those local mining they are doing, that some of them always trapped in the hole, will reduce. And they will use the new techniques to do the mining. It will help us. And such a thing will help to generate revenue for the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Was
and
there an initiative while you were in the 9th National Assembly to that regard, or is something you want to pursue now?
It's not about that. Assembly? I have even taken the royal salt to the public petition for negligence to carry the environmental impact assessment. And
how about the one you talked about, which is that of bringing in the states?
Yes.
So is it something you want to do now, or something you have started?
No, the governor is a part of the thing that he have started, and equally is translating to the incoming governor.
Okay.
The incoming governor is a man, he have a listening ear.
Okay.
And he's a man that always listens. He's a part of things that will, everybody want to join together that will benefit our state.
Okay.
It's going to be translated from outgoing governor to incoming governor. And such a thing will help to give our people employment and to give our people hope. And there are so many things that we are going to establish in Ebonyi State. For example, we don't need to import pencil again. The lead can use to produce pencil. Okay. The lead can use to produce battery. And so many other small industry that can be around those areas that those solid minerals will help. What we are looking at is constant electricity. If there is a constant electricity, you will see Nigeria is the best country to be.
Let's move on. I do understand that it's always very good at the beginning to have these lofty ideas, but we'll look out for how some of them are implemented, if not all, at least some in that constituency. Now, Ikwo Eza South is also endowed with tourist sites like the Oferepe Beach, the Ili Noyo. Maybe help me when you are responding to the question. The Norwegian Water Reservoir and Rocky Hills formations at Amago. I'm sure I would have murdered some of the names. Please bear with me on that. My concern is, shouldn't such locations thrive as popular tourist attractions to create wealth for the people of your constituency?
Yes. That is why I told you I work with the program of my people.
Okay.
Such tourist site is a part of the program of my people. I know in this NTA you heard when we had what we called our cultural carnival.
Okay.
And this our cultural carnival is called Ajereke, where every son and daughter of Ikwo returned. And this translated of this Ajereke is from each of the village community to community. The same thing ma'am to all the 20 ward in Ikwo. And we have what we call our New Year Festival, where what you call the Illinois. Every son and daughter visit our ancestry home to showcase our culture. And that is where you always see, even some of these Chinese that are mining our place, always come to watch out. By saying it, economy will now boom. Most of the petty traders along that place, that day always smile because they will see a different people that are patronize them due to the motivation of our culture and the tourists that are visiting those areas.
I know you are very interested about the trend in town. Let me take this conversation to the current tussle for leadership of the 10th National Assembly. What is your take on who takes charge as Speaker of the House?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The truth of it is that in 10th National Assembly, I have to commend 9th Assembly because they have done immensely well. There is so many controversial bills that none of the both 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th Assembly could not pass. But 9th Assembly able to achieve that. PIB bill,
yes,
electoral law, and so many others. But this 10th Assembly, when Adam Oshomole was the chairman of a party, he called a meeting of all the elected people in APC and sit and hear the opinion. After then, he called a meeting of all the contestants, the aspirants of each of the position, and discuss with them and hear the opinion. After such opinion, they are able to bring their own opinion of the party, and everyone agreed. That is the emergence of our leadership, Mr. Speaker, yes, and the Deputy Speaker, Wase. But as a party man who have suffered immensely for APC, when most of them were mocking us, but because of things we have done on ground, if our party is doing a zoning, all the concern of the party and the contestant will be called. And what I want you to draw in your attention, according to the constitution of our party, any letter that is going out of the party should be signed by the chairman and the secretary. The duty of a publicity secretary is to disseminate information. You cannot just wake up and do zoning without calling the concerned people. And according to the Electoral Act, there is a category of means of election: consensus, direct primary, indirect. In the consensus, all the concerned, you must seek the opinion by writing or their consent. But none of us that are contesting, that our opinion is being sought. And being the best candidate for deputy speaker in the Southeast, that I want to build a bridge, because our major problem of this agitation is that there is a gap between those that call themselves leader and those that have given us the mandate to represent them.
Okay.
And I have the capacity to reconnect that mandate, because most of this our youth, we have disappointed them. How many of these people that are connected have trained somebody in Kano? I've produced 10 graduate people in Kano. There is no each state in the north I have not produced a graduate. There is no each state in the southwest I have not produced a graduate. Some of them are still working with me as I speak to you. You come to the southeast, we need someone that will not use his tinted glass, will not listen to the people. Someone that will go down to the grassroots and listen to the masses and know their problem and present it before the floor of the house. And such a thing can be adhered to, and it will help to reduce the agitation and bring the problem of our people. Nigeria and Southeastern are not greedy. They are hard-working men. What they need is information. But when the electors here will forget them in those areas, that's why you see most of this agitation.
Now, I was waiting for you to give me your opinion about the issue of zoning. What is your contention with the current zoning arrangement of the party?
Yes, definitely. Now, I know too well, we are going to hear from our leader. Our leader is President-elect and President Muhammad Buhari, including the national chairman of APC. They are going to call all the contestants and address us. We have not heard from them. We only heard on the Facebook and the newspaper. So they will call us, all of us that are members of APC, members of NEC. For example, those people that are claiming today they are running election, what is their vote in their constituency? Have they ever boldly go to the market to campaign for the APC in their constituency? What are their record? For example, in Abuja State, where they're talking, where they're zoning to, in 9th Assembly, they have a majority leader, Senator Okalo. They have a deputy chief whip, Onye Jocha. They have minority leader, Abaribe, all in the same Abia State. And Ebonyi that gave the highest vote after Ebonyi State. We have other people that are qualified that will do the position of deputy speakership for the Southeast. What we need now is integration that will help for the agitation in the Southeast. Let us go back to know that Nigeria is a one country. We need to be united. Someone that will connect with the people. Someone that have interconnection both South, North, and West. It's not somebody when you give him an appointment, he cannot greet anybody. He cannot have accessible to the people. Leadership is about someone that will answer his phone.
Where are you tilting to as far as the office of speaker is concerned?
No, the aspect of the speakership is that there's so many people that are contesting for speakership and they're all qualified.
Okay.
And that qualification, there's still a criteria that security agents need to do. The data of everybody. What are your life behavior? What are your attitude? What are your legacy? Because speaker is the speaker of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in National Assembly. He's not the speaker of your personal house. You represent this country. It is someone that have the cohesion of the people and accessibility. And that is what we are looking at. So our party, I'm looking forward for them to readdress. I have not believed that there is a zoning.
Okay.
What we are seeing is Facebook publication. That our party will call us and address us. We are party men who believe in our party. And we know our president-elect is a man that always believes in right thing to be done. Watch out when they came up to say that they zoned the presidency to North. And the Northern governor come up to say that was not their opinion. At the end, President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu stand the election because the masses stand for him. And he was voted in. Today is the president-elect. So This time around is not the time that you can impose a candidate on people. It's a time that you bring everybody together, agree. If that is the person that the party wants, we all that are contesting election have to agree and work towards that.
One quick question. What assurance can you give to your people that at the end of the 10th assembly, let's say you emerge as deputy speaker, you will not end up like the same people you think are not connected to their people? How different?
The difference is there. As I stand to speak,
seconds.
there is no each state in the southeast have not given anybody employment. My record on employment in the federal civil service today is 782. Go and check.
Okay.
And I have a template in which I can use not to disappoint my people by getting down to them, ask them what is the problem
30 seconds.
and what they want. And they are the one to project what they want, and they will carry it on. By the time you are playing the trumpet of someone of what you want, you see such person will continue following you and believing you.
I thank you so much, Honorable Chinedu Ogah, OON, member representing the good people of Ikweza, South Federal Constituency of Ebonyi State, for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
As much as we would love to continue this conversation about the mandate to deliver quality representation to the people of Ikweza, South Federal Constituency, we would have to wrap it up now. I hope there will be another opportunity to probe some of the issues raised on the program sometime soon. My name is Onengie Fineface. Bye for now.